Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Senator Lindsey Graham and something he said. And we will talk a little bit more about why the U.S. has the position it does concerning international law right now. When I make a video and I'm saying something that is outside of what is typically being discussed, when we're talking about the inner functions of how the government works, there are certain people that I immediately start watching very closely because they tend to forget that they're not supposed to talk about Bruno. They have a habit of saying the quiet part aloud when they're not supposed to. Lindsey Graham is famous for that. And during a Senate Appropriations Committee meeting, or subcommittee meeting, with Blinken present, he said, "It is imperative that the Senate, in a bipartisan way, comes up with crippling sanctions against the ICC, not only to support Israel, but to deter any future action against American personnel." That's what it's about. Doesn't have anything to do with the situation on the ground over there. Remember what they say about the stuff that comes before the word but. He went on to say, "If they do this to Israel, we are next." And then goes on, "They tried to come after our soldiers in Afghanistan, but reason prevailed." In a situation where it was an establishment state actor that isn't a signatory in an area pursuing a non-state actor that the ICC claimed jurisdiction over. That's what they're concerned about. That's why the U.S. is going to have the response it has to the ICC. Doesn't have anything to do with what's happening. As far as the U.S. position on what's actually happening over there, it doesn't really look like it's changed much. It doesn't look like this has had an impact on it. Blinken is still pushing for a two-state solution tied to normalization with the Saudis through the mega deal. That appears to be what they're moving towards. And they have a new framing for that. The whole point of normalization, but also the whole point of the establishment of a Palestinian state, is to make sure that Israel's security is better ensured. That's Blinken. So basically what he's saying is give them a state, get a real peace, won't just be cyclical, all the stuff that we've been talking about. He does look like he's still in line with the whole idea that Hamas cannot be part of the governing body. Not really a surprise there. But there is this interesting statement. Graham, again, somebody who often says stuff that isn't supposed to be publicly known or acknowledged. "I've heard the statement, the ball is about to be in Israel's court. Is that fair to say?" That's Graham asking Blinken. And Blinken says, "That's my assessment, yes." So it appears that state and the Saudis, probably the Egyptians as well, because they are still really, really upset about the border crossing. It appears that they have worked out their side of it, and they're probably about to present it to Israel. And we'll see where it goes from there. There is going to be a whole lot of rhetoric about the ICC coming from U.S. officials. Understand, none of it is related to the merits of the ICC case. They literally do not care. That is not why they're upset. The hostility that exists between the U.S. and the ICC goes back a while. And again, you're talking about a country that invade The Hague. It's about making sure that U.S. personnel do not fall under their jurisdiction. That's what it's about. It's not about the merits of the case. It doesn't appear that it has shifted U.S. policy in any way, shape, or form. The discussion about supplying weapons isn't in anything that I've been able to get access to. So I don't know if there's been a shift there. But overall, the idea for a peace plan, it's the same as it was. It hasn't changed anything. In some ways, they would never admit this, but in some ways, the ICC case might actually help Blinken move things along, because the establishment of a Palestinian state, or a very credible pathway to one, might go a long way right now. So there might be an incentive to move in that direction, but we don't know that. So we'll have to keep waiting and seeing. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.